Here we go. Exodus Station. How do you set up Exodus Station? Well, this is the first place you're going to visit right here. All right, this docking area, you're going to want to come here and try and get in to the starting area of Exodus Station. Before you even come here, though, you need a human. You must have a human because the human will be placed here in order to unlock the door. You also need power. Now you can see here in my video, way up there, I've got a solar panel on the corner. I didn't do that right away. The first thing I did was what I said in my boat setup video is I ran the cables from the dock area all the way back to where you got to connect the power for this part of Exodus Station, all the way back here. I ran those cables and I added a battery inside, so I've got extra power, right? So I can keep this place up and running. That's all you got to do for this first area. Connect your boat if you've got the battery power as I suggested on the boat, and run the cables to the back. Later, or if you really want, you can come back, you can do what I did, add the solar panel, add the battery if you didn't add the battery in the first go around, just to make sure you've always got some power running. But you do need first to get that set up from the boat so that you can put your human here, open the door, and get that back elevator working. Once you get the back elevator working, you're good to go to move on to the next section. So there's a big horizontal platform here, elevator platform that will take you back to the other part of Exodus Station. And if this section is powered, you're fine. You can move the elevator to the other side, but you can't come back because you don't have power on the other side. So we're just going to run over here and I will show you the power location and how I set up that location. So the power location is on the left side as you come across that bridge. You're going to need to clear this area out and get power running to the upstairs room. Now you will have a couple solar panels down here to power up and a couple wind turbines that you can repair. So you can repair the solar panels, repair the turbines, and run some cables in to get this room started. Later, I came back, I added more solar panels and more wind turbines. Now, if you saw my boat video, I said I prefer solar everywhere. And that's why. These wind turbines, look at that one. They're all damaged, right? 75%. This one's almost gone. It's at just under 8% power. Solar panels, however, no damage at all. But you need a lot of power at the Exodus Station. So I added the solar, I added more wind turbines. And then I threw in some batteries up in this room as well for the connection. I've got 4 in here. And that's all you need to do to get this section up and running. Now, there's a lot of material around this area as well. So if you wanted to build a recycler, you could put it anywhere you want in here, whatever's most efficient for you. Connect it to your cabling, because you're going to have to now run these same cables all the way to what I call the rocket processing area. All right, you can see I ran the cables all the way along here. We're going all the way to the rocket processing area, which is all the way on the other side. In this rocket processing area, it comes with 2 oil tanks that are damaged. I have not used them. Right? I set them up. I was going to use them, but I didn't need them. So they're just sitting there for now. This is the main rocket processing area. Comes with the 1 green methane tank and the 1 oxygen tank, which have to be repaired. And it comes with the Sabatier reactor. Not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. Sabatier reactor. That you have to repair. So you got to repair those 3 items. You've got to add a large electric generator to produce carbon dioxide. You've got to add the water purifier. I positioned them right up here together, so everything's kind of in the same area up here, right? So we're going to produce all of these things. Once you've repaired these and added these, you still need water intake. The water intake is down below here. You can see it comes with 4. I repaired all 4. I think you only need to repair 1, maybe 2. But if you're OCD or something like me, you want all 4 because you don't want them black and smoky there while you're working. I added more batteries. All right, because we're going to need more power, and it's going to come. It's connected, right? All the electrical is connected to your power station back there, where we got the solar and the wind. But you'll eventually need even more power, because the rocket takes a lot of electricity to power up. So I added 6 more solar panels back here, got them all connected. You need petrol here because the petrol is going to be what powers that generator to give you your carbon dioxide. So 4 petrol tanks. And that's enough. You can see I launched the rocket. It's still sitting like at half. So I probably got enough to even launch another rocket in these 4 tanks. All right, now you're going to need your lines, your methane. I should mention, I do have a couple storage here. I added a 2nd oxygen tank. It seems to take more oxygen than 1 tank can handle. You can do it with only 1 tank, it'll just take longer. If you have a 2nd tank, the ability to make a 2nd tank, they're fully... they're full, right? Storage is full on both, which means the rocket will be ready to go much faster. Then you're going to run your wire, your cables, your gas lines, right? Electrical. The methane is here kind of in the middle, and I've got the oxygen over on the right. And the reason is up here on the rocket, first on the left is the electrical. Then we've got the middle is the methane, and then kind of around the back, I guess, here is your oxygen. So you got to run all those cables, get your rocket connected. And the last thing is to get the petrol up here. I ran the petrol wires, the petrol cables, the petrol, what would you call them? Petrol cables here, down to the boat. There's a 2nd docking area down here. Let's go down. I'll show you that second docking area. You can see I ran cables down here. All the way into this dark room. All right, ran the cables down here. Now you can't get to this area from the bottom unless you've already been here to unlock the ladder at the top. So the cable will actually go right from the top of the ladder to the bottom. You don't need any other connection. It's about maximum length you can go. So you're going to want to make that connection in one line. Comes out here. I've got a couple different spots in case I park a little different from time to time. So all I do when I pull my boat, right, from the starting area over there, I bring the boat over here. In fact, after the starting area is done, you don't even have to park over there anymore. You can just come back here and park right here. And I run my connection and it will fill up the diesel or the petrol tanks up above. All those simple connections are done. You've got enough to power up your rocket. If you built out the solar panels and the extra battery power and everything as I showed you, it's all ready to go. Quick tip, hidden spot, right back in there. You gotta go across here all the way back in there. I show that on another video. Right, so that's enough to get your rocket going. Of course, the control room is the last part. So then you got to get to the control room and power that up. Launch control. Now it's pouring rain, of course. Pouring rain when I'm doing the video. It's always pouring rain here. So you have two options for launch control, I think. Option one is what I did. I ran cables. Cables and connections. Cables and connections. It's the cheapest option. It's the quickest option. All right, I ran all my cables along here. All the way to launch control. The only downside to this is for some reason, I don't know why, I suspect it's those angels. Sometimes one of these cables will be disconnected. So I'm not sure if it's the angels that happen to fly by and pull one of your cables apart or what's causing it. But there are times when a cable, just about anywhere in Exodus, will be disconnected. So you run your cable all the way down to where it's got to be powered, down below here. All right, I ran it straight down. I did the little jump here. You got to crouch a bit to get over and below the roof and over the rail. And it comes in here. And I mean, one thing I probably should do, and maybe you want to, is put a battery in here. All right, that way if the cable does get pulled, you still have power running without trying to find where the cable got pulled apart. So that's option one. I think it's the best option. But another option, if you'd prefer, you could throw down a solar panel and a battery. You know, you probably got to throw down a solar panel outside here because you can't get access up to there until you do have power running anyway. You'll need it somewhere out here. Later, you could move it up top on the roof. That's it. That connection will give you power. You can see I've cleared this whole area out. A lot of good stuff. Oh, look at that. I left a puck. And you're in here with a powered launch control area. Right? You launch your rocket and you're set to go. You've got all the connections. You do have to place your human up at the top level there. All right, you can go into the control panel. You can see what's missing, what's needed. So I've filled up oxygen, I've got methane, electricity, but I've got no cargo on there. Little tip, you can put 3 humans in your rocket. For each human you send, you get a reward level. So if you send 3, you get 3 different reward levels in the capsule. It comes down. I mean, if you're making it all the way here anyway, first time I came, I took 2 humans. I didn't know you could take, I didn't know you could even send up more than 1. Second trip, of course, I brought all 3 humans in. So there's a relatively quick, easy setup for Exodus Station. Also, when you do launch your rocket, make sure you come outside. Outside, head to the roof to watch the rocket. Right, you get a beautiful view from up here. You could even move closer if you wanted to move across, right? But it's a beautiful view up here. Once the rocket's up there, far, far in the distance, don't leave. You saw my video, I started leaving, and a good buddy told me, don't go, it's not done. Because you gotta watch the rocket complete and come back. Alright, so there's Exodus Station set up. It's an easy setup. Takes a long time though. Takes a long time to repair everything, get rid of everything, build out all the new stuff. Takes a lot of time, a lot of material. The setup itself is pretty simple and it works really well. Alright, I hope you enjoyed watching this Exodus setup. And maybe it's giving you some ideas, or maybe you've got something that you've done better. Just let me know. Alright, take care everybody.